right, in studio right now, we've got Charlie O'Hara here to answer your legal questions. The number to call if you've got a question is 436-1212. Welcome in, Charlie. Glad you're here this morning. We already do have a caller on the line with a question. So, caller, go ahead and ask your question to Charlie.
Yes, I'd like to know, when there's a death in the family and there's one parent still alive, are the children responsible for any bills?
Well,
and is that on through every state, or is every state different?
well, I can't talk for other states, actually. I've never really practiced in other states, but I can talk generally about how the law is. You're only responsible for the debts that you have. So if you're a child and your parents have a bunch of debts and they die, you're not responsible for those debts. However, if they have a huge estate, the estate would be responsible for those debts, so they'd have to pay all the debts out of the estate, and then the children would get the money afterwards. In the example you have, one parent still being alive, and then the children, probably if there's a lot of debts and there's an estate and there was a will for the death, and the will will take care of that, the estate will. If not, the other spouse may be responsible if they were on the debt. If you're not on the debt, you're not responsible.
Right, you're only responsible for the debt you personally accrue.
That's true, or that you would co-sign on.
Correct. Okay, so there we go. You have to be involved in it directly somehow.
Yes.
Sign your name on some sort of sheet of paper.
Yes.
All right, we are continuing to follow one case that was out of Sumner County. The jury reached the verdict yesterday for Nicole Blansett, convicted of first-degree murder. Now, that it carries a life sentence for her with the stipulations, either a hard 50 or she could get 25 years till parole. How does that work there, Charlie?
Well, what that really means is the number is how long you have to serve before you're eligible for parole.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you get parole.
Okay.
So even if you have 25, you may spend 50. If you have 50, you may probably, for most people, it's the rest of their life. But even when you hit the 50, you may not get out.
Okay.
It's that you're eligible to get out if everybody agrees that you're the kind of person that ought to get out.
Important clarification there. We do have one more caller. Go ahead now and ask your question, caller. Go ahead and ask your question if you're there.
Yes. I was wondering, my mother had a surgery and they poked a hole in her bowel, and I was wondering if we could sue for malpractice, because now she has an ileostomy for the rest of her life.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime somebody has a surgery and something goes wrong, you very well may have a lawsuit. However, the length of time to file those lawsuits is quite short. So if that's happened, you need to get a hold of an attorney that handles those kind of things and check with them and make sure that you're within the time frame. Anytime that happens, you need to decide if you're going to sue rather quickly.
And one thing we talk about a lot is that how much money you'll spend versus how much money you might get, or if an attorney will take the case.
That's correct. I mean, sometimes the amount that they will win in a lawsuit isn't going to cover the costs they have to get there.
All right. Thanks so much, Charlie, for being here. Let's get over to Mark, take a look at how the weather's looking today. Mark?